Our plumber Ted Moxham is here installing a water purification system, and Dave Krupinski's here from Kinetico.
Hi, Bob.
How are you?
Good, how are you?
Well, why do we need a water purification system in a city situation where you've got processed water?
That's a good question. You know, a lot of people have the misperception that just because it's city water, it's not hard. And in fact, 85% of all homes in America have hard water. It doesn't matter if they're on a city water supply or if they're on a well. So we can treat that hard water.
What about chlorine?
Also has chlorine. This particular system will dechlorinate all the water going throughout the entire home, and chlorine can dry your skin, can dry your hair, can fade your clothing prematurely, so we want to take that out too.
Yeah, now the big thing I was always concerned about was sediment in the pipes, and this looks like one of your props.
Exactly right. We brought this sample. It was cut away from another project, but you can see the long-term effects of hardness going through your plumbing.
This is not styrofoam that you've stuck in. This is actually
this is actually the calcium that comes out of the water and scales inside of the pipe and effectively reduces your plumbing size down to, this looks like about 1/4 of an inch.
Like a pencil. How long do you suppose it took for that to happen?
Oh, probably a few years.
Yeah. Just a few years.
Yeah.
And that, of course, would indicate that you're getting very low water volume throughout the house.
Not only that, but this kind of effect can happen inside of your water-using appliances too, and reduce their efficiency and cause a lot of unnecessary repairs. So we want to take care of that.
What kind of a system is this?
Well, this is a whole house management system, which really involves two separate components. You have a dechlorinator and softener system that treats the water that goes throughout the entire home. That's for the water that goes on you, the general purpose water for bathing, for doing laundry, for doing dishes. And then we also have a reverse osmosis drinking water system, which is a multi-stage filtration system that further purifies your drinking water.
Just those little tiny tanks that are up there?
Exactly right.
They're not really tanks then. They're
right. They're filters that the water passes through on its way out your kitchen tap.
Okay. And then where Ted is just removing the lid, that's where you have to put in your salts, right?
Exactly right. Yeah, yeah. The water softener uses a regenerant salt. The salt comes in and cleans the inside of the tank of any residue hardness, and then of course it's flushed away down the drain, so you have clean, soft water coming out of that system when it's finished.
Gotcha. What's the tank over Ted's head there for?
Well, this is our new quick flow tank. Typically, people have complained about reverse osmosis systems delivering water to the faucet somewhat slowly. So we've come out with this. What we actually do is we take your household water pressure, and here's a good example here. Here's a clear version of the tank so you can see how it looks inside. We take your household water pressure, and that actually squeezes the bladder, and inside of the bladder is the drinking water that comes out of your faucet. So your household water pressure is exerting a very strong constant force and giving you really good delivery at the faucet.
So you get good delivery, good volume and pressure.
Exactly.
Now, how much maintenance does a system like this require?
Well, not terribly much. I mean, you have to periodically put salt in the system, but since this is demand operated, it only operates when you're using water, so it doesn't regenerate unnecessarily and waste salt and water, so your salt usage is relatively low. And then with the reverse osmosis systems, you have to replace the pre-filter and the post-filter about once a year, and the system shuts off to tell you when it's time to do that.
So is this the kind of job that you have to send out maintenance people several times a year?
Well, actually, we have service people at our shop that do, I just do installations, and we have service people that come out, and we recommend once a year. You know, so just put a note on here that next November they should have a checkup, and what they do is they come down, they check that little ball cock that's inside there, they'll run a test on the water, make sure the pH is where it's supposed to be, 7.0, and check for the hardness and
but
you
you should. The homeowner needs to add salt every few weeks.
Homeowner has to add salt.
Right?
If you look down inside there, there's a white grid down on the bottom there, and
so
that white grid I'll put in 2 bags of salt, that green bags behind you.
Right.
And when the homeowner can see any part of that white grid, that's when it's time to add salt.
Add salt, exactly. Usually the homeowner just sees this though, right?
Right. This will be installed eventually up in the finished kitchen on the countertop by the sink, and this is what dispenses your drinking water.
Great. Thanks, fellas.
Okay.
You bet.
Thank you, Bob.